Halo Infinite added a ton of new achievements with the winter update. Most of them are really simple to get, however most require a second player to unlock. So in this video I'll be sharing my experience in getting every achievement and hopefully convince some of you who are on the fence to go for the achievements in this game. Because there's a lot of achievements, I'll just be covering the ones that I found difficult and that you might find difficult if you choose to go for them, as well as the achievements that seem like they would be really difficult at first glance but aren't actually that bad. But with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. All of the new achievements are part of the campaign, and we'll start with the ones that can be done without a second player. Truth be told, getting all of these achievements is actually really simple and easy. All of these achievements can be done on the easy difficulty with the bandana skull on and with the tank gun. So if you know where to get the bandana skull and the tank gun, you can sweep through all of these solo achievements in just a few hours. If you don't already know, the tank gun is available in the Outpost Tremonius mission. Just grapple up to the cannons that are furthest away from you when you start the mission, jump on top of them, and you'll be able to swap your weapon for what is essentially the cannon you see on the Scorpion tank. This was removed from the game for some time, but it was added back in shortly after, so it will be there for you to use if you want it. The bandana skull is a little trickier to get, is one of the last skulls you'll be able to get in the campaign, but as long as you've already completed the Infinite campaign once before, it's just a matter of using the new mission replay feature and following the guides online. There's only a few achievements I'm even going to mention in this solo section, and they're only here because they seemed like they would be challenging at first, but all of these ended up being a complete cakewalk. We'll start with Vintage Fisticuffs. In the Nexus, kill the Hunter pair with melee final blows. At first it sounds like it would be super difficult, but it's actually really easy. All you need to do is play on the easy difficulty, pick up the Ravager that's on the weapon rack in the same room, shoot the Hunters 3 times to break the armor on their backs, and then they're just a few punches away from dying. I wouldn't recommend using the tank gun for this since you can accidentally one-shot the Hunters with it. The Ravager makes this really consistent, just play on easy and you'll be perfectly fine. More than you bargained for. Defeat Warchief Escharum without ever fully losing your shields. This one sounds like it could have been challenging, but playing on easy with the tank gun makes this boss fight a complete joke. The tank gun should immediately end the damage phase of the fight every single time. From then, it's just a matter of breaking the shields, shooting Escharum with the tank gun again, and once all the shields are destroyed, shoot him a couple more times and the fight will end. The tank gun doesn't deal damage to the player, so as long as you don't blow up any fusion coils that are directly next to you, you'll be completely fine. It's really easy to kite Escharum around the arena, so you could do this fight completely damageless if you wanted to. It really does beat everything. Eliminate all enemies at the South Beacon with a Scorpion tank. This one is only on the list because I had some trouble getting enemies to spawn in properly. I was doing this with the campaign mission replay and it seems as though the developers haven't quite squashed all the bugs just yet. Once you do get the enemies to spawn in properly, it's just a matter of shooting everything with the tank gun and not dying, which should be pretty easy if you're on the easy difficulty. There was a brief moment of panic when I noticed that a random Marine with a sniper rifle followed me into the mission. I tried shooting them with the tank gun, but somehow they didn't die. I think it might have been God. Thankfully, they didn't kill any enemies and I was able to get this achievement without any issues. Now let's move on to the co-op campaign achievements. I'm going to talk about all of these since most of them can be grouped together in some way. If you have a co-op partner that you can communicate with, getting these shouldn't be too difficult, but it will take you some time for reasons you'll see pretty soon. One thing worth mentioning with Halo Infinite's co-op is that because local split-screen co-op was cancelled in September of last year, you will need another person to complete these achievements. Unfortunately, you can't just plug in a second controller and try and solo these achievements. You either need another person who's willing to help, or to have a spare controller, console, and another copy of Halo Infinite. If you have the resources to fake having a second player, then you shouldn't have too many issues doing these achievements solo, but if you don't, I highly recommend using the Halo Completionist Discord server. It's full of people who love achievement hunting across the Halo franchise. It took a little while to get into a match with someone, but it's what I used to get all of the co-op achievements done. And we'll start the co-op achievements with Wardens of Zeta. In co-op, complete all 7 banished outposts on any difficulty. This one is pretty straightforward, just redo the 7 banished outpost missions with a partner, use mission replay, and you shouldn't have any issues with this one. First Responder. In co-op, answer all UNSC distress calls on any difficulty. This one is also really straightforward. Just redo the distress calls with the mission replay feature and you'll be fine. There's a lot more of them, but you can beat each one in under a minute easily. This shouldn't take you very long at all. Hunting Party. In co-op, eliminate all banished high-value targets on any difficulty. Just like the last two, all you need to do is use mission replay and defeat the various bosses around the map. It shouldn't take you too long if you know what you're doing. Use the tank gun, use the bandana skull, and play on easy. That's all there is to it. What's Rightfully Ours? In co-op, capture all forward operating bases on any difficulty. Unlike the last three achievements, this one is actually kind of a pain in the ass. What makes this one so much more difficult is that you cannot use mission replay to recapture fobs. You will almost certainly have to start from scratch with a new save. It sucks, but there's a way to optimize this. I did not talk about the mix things up a bit achievement, the stick around achievement, and the rapid unscheduled disassembly achievement, but if you do these on a new save, you'll be ready to start capturing fobs from scratch. From there, you and your partner can load up this save and be exactly where you need to be. You will have to defeat Chaklock in the tower to gain access to the second part of the open world and get through all of Pelican Down to get to the remaining third part, but if you're playing on easy with the tank gun and the bandana skill on and only fight the necessary encounters, it shouldn't take you too long. My teammate and I did the campaign missions in a little over half an hour. It sucks, but it's what you have to do. On the bright side, it can stack really well with those prior three achievements, as well as the new Conservation of Momentum achievement and the Forza Firefight achievement from the game's original launch. This one sucks because it takes a while, but the execution is simple and easy. Either prepare to sink a lot of time into this one or do a lot of planning to make it as short as possible. Air Raid. In co-op, kill 100 enemies while all players are riding in air vehicles. This one is just a matter of finding 100 enemies to kill. I highly recommend stacking this one with the First Responders and Hunting Party achievements. You'll basically just end up flying over the entire map looking for enemies to take out in a wasp, which worked pretty well for my playthrough. This one is of course easier the less you have done in the open world, so keep that in mind before trying this with your 100% completed save file. It can be done on any version, but it will take a bit longer. Cowcatcher. In co-op, splatter 50 enemies while riding in a vehicle with another player. This one is a bit challenging to find a rhythm for, but I actually found a pretty consistent way to get this one done quickly. If you load into Excavation Site and approach from the outside, you can see this phantom dropping off enemies before flying off. And if you splatter them, leave the area, wait for a save, and return, that phantom will come again and continue dropping off another set of enemies. If you keep doing this, you can get the achievement done consistently in around 10 minutes. You can of course just splatter enemies while driving around the open world doing other things, but this was a lot quicker and more consistent in my game. Gruesome Twosome. In co-op, kill 50 enemies while riding a mongoose with another player. This is just a matter of doing what the achievement wants you to do. While I didn't do this in my game, you could definitely use the same strategy we used for Cowcatcher to get this achievement as well. It's a great strategy for anything where you need a consistent spawn of enemies. Keep it steady. Kill 5 enemies with a sniper rifle from a vehicle. All players aboard vehicle share progress. This one is really simple. The only challenge with this achievement is that you cannot aim down sights with a sniper rifle while on the back of a mongoose, so you will have to get up close and personal. While it doesn't matter which vehicle you use, I would highly recommend using the mongoose so you can stack this achievement with the Gruesome Twosome achievement. You might think that 5 kills won't make a huge difference at the end of the day, but it can really make a difference when you stack it with the next achievement. Rolling Thunder. Kill 5 enemies with a gravity hammer from a vehicle. All players aboard the vehicle share progress. This is the same idea as Keep It Steady, except this time you're using a gravity hammer instead of a sniper rifle. What I recommend for this is for the player on the back of the mongoose to have a sniper rifle and a gravity hammer so they can get 5 kills with the sniper for the Keep It Steady achievement, and then quickly switch over to the gravity hammer for the Rolling Thunder achievement. Once you have those 10 kills, you'll have those 2 achievements unlocked, and you'll be well on your way towards completing the Gruesome Twosome achievement. If either player is having a hard time using these weapons, the driver can use whatever weapon they feel like and switch with the passenger for the remaining 40 kills. It's entirely up to you, but this is a really easy way to get these 3 achievements done as efficiently as possible. Inseparable. In co-op, kill a hunter and its spawn brother within 3 seconds of each other. This is just a matter of good communication between you and your teammate. I did this by replaying the Myriad HVT, which is the hunter pair. What makes this a great option is that you can use mission replay to get an infinite amount of attempts at this encounter, but you also get health bars for those 2 hunters, which makes nailing the timing a lot easier. Alternatively, if you're doing all of these achievements with a teammate, it could stack really well with the Vintage Fisticuffs achievement. If you both pick a hunter and both get their backplates off at the same time, you can time the punches and potentially get it there. This wouldn't be my first choice since you have to get pretty far into that mission for the hunter encounter, and you have to get the timing right and be certain about the hunter's health, but if you're already doing this one in co-op, it might be worth giving it a shot. You, me, same page. In co-op, destroy all cooling towers at the dig site within 60 seconds of each other. This is just another matter of good communication. I would clear all of the enemies in this area, and once you're both ready, start a countdown to open up the cooling towers, and from there it's just a matter of moving around the arena and hitting your shots. It's worth noting that this timer starts once the cooling towers are above ground, not when you destroy the first one, so keep that in mind or otherwise you're going to have to restart. One other thing worth considering is that this achievement can stack really well with the new workplace safety violation achievement, so be sure to get that one while you're here if you haven't already. Control Demolition. In co-op, destroy 4 fuel silos within 5 seconds at either Ransom Keep or the Forge of Tesh. This is another test of communication. The timer starts when the first silo is destroyed, so just pick your 2 targets beforehand and don't miss. I recommend using the sniper rifle for this one since it's a 2-shot kill for each silo, and I also recommend clearing the area of enemies so you don't get shot and descoped. This one should be really straightforward. Unless you both accidentally shoot the same target, there isn't really any reason you should fail this one. Wolves at the door. In co-op, lower all 3 gates within 15 seconds of each other at Riven Gate. This is just a matter of following the guides. If you both know where the gate controls are, there shouldn't be any major issues here. Just start a countdown for everyone to hit their controls at the same time, and if there are only 2 of you like there were in my case, one player will be at the middle control and take the Banshee to the last control. While we were doing this achievement, my partner told me that there was a known bug where this achievement would not pop unless the host player was the one to do the middle and final gate control. I don't know if that's entirely true or if that will be fixed sometime in the future, but if you happen to be having trouble with this one, take a look at that. It might be the issue. Otherwise, this is a really simple achievement. And that was my experience getting all of the achievements added into Halo Infinite with the winter update. Overall, these are all really easy achievements to get, providing you have a co-op partner who's willing to put in the time. The solo achievements are all really quick and easy to earn, and while the co-op ones are also quick and easy to earn, they will take a little bit longer to execute. Let me know what you think of Halo Infinite's achievements in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this on other games. Thanks for watching, like the video if you made it this far, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.